Good morning. On behalf of Janet Baker, our superintendent, and our Board of Education, I'd like to welcome you to Hamilton High School. My name is John Wilhelm, and I'm the principal of Hamilton High. As we get started today, I want to invite you to stand for the presentation of our colors, as well as the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by our senior, Eric Miller.
Color guard. Colors and shout. Raise hands. Colors. Ready. Cut.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Colors. Ready. Cut. Color guard. All out.
Thank you. Please be seated. What a great morning we have lined up for you. This is always a highlight of our year at Hamilton High School. When I was appointed principal, one of my goals was to increase our military opportunities at Hamilton High that our students have. This year, we have focused on our relationships with our military recruiters and the training of our staff. For the second straight year, we have sent 2 guidance counselors to Parris Island for their counselor immersion program. And that meant firing rifles. It meant, doing all the things that would be expected from our students as they enter the Marine Corps. Last month at Hamilton High School, we hosted Speaker of the House John Boehner's Academy Night. And so representatives from all 5 of the military academies were on campus presenting information to our students. One of our Board of Education's goals is to increase the number of students not only at selective universities but also our military academies, and that's something that I will support as well. Key to this has been the work of Allison Bridge, our guidance counselor. Allison is our military liaison, and I couldn't be more pleased with the work she's done with our military recruiters, as well as working with our students to ensure that they have opportunities to further their careers in whichever field they choose to, and that includes the military. So today, as we celebrate our students and their decision to focus on a career in the military, I want to introduce guidance counselor Allison Bridge.
Thank you, John. And as John said, I am the military liaison for our high school, and I wanted to have that as one of my roles this year because I felt like I had a pretty good knowledge of the military. A lot of my family, my dad, aunts, uncles, my husband served in 2 branches, so I thought I had a pretty good idea of what it means to serve in the military until I went to Parris Island this year, and the physical ability of the students that we saw there was really amazing. And so I was like, okay, it's really physical, I get that. And then last month I went to the Naval Academy in Annapolis and realized that not only is it a physical mission, but it's also very much mental and academic. And I was just very impressed with the young people that I met during that trip. We do have several students today that are going to be recognized. I'm very excited for them to be starting on their journey and serving our country. So we have a little bit of a change of who's going to be presenting today. So first I'd like to welcome up Staff Sergeant Tom Benton. He's going to be introducing our students that are going to be enlisting into the Army.
Good morning, Mr. Wilhelm, family, friends, distinguished guests. Thank you for having us up here today. If I could at this time have Jeremy Brown come up. As I call your name, please come up. Jamin Brown. Mateo Flores. Troy, I'm not even going to pronounce your last name. Eric Miller, John Riley, Corey Rodriguez, and Veronica Toth. There you go. These young men and women have decided to take the challenge, the Army challenge. The next step in their lives will be one they'll never forget. For this, I want to say thank you. I know Sergeant Bullock's your guys' recruiter. He couldn't be here due to prior engagements, but I want to say thank you from the United States Army for enlisting and joining our group. Ladies and gentlemen, the next group for the Army, United States Army.
Next, I'm going to ask Staff Sergeant Lopez to come up, and he's going to represent the Marines and the Navy.
Thank you, Allison. Families, friends, my name is Staff Sergeant Lopez. I'm the Marine Corps recruiter for Hamilton High School and have been for the past 2 years. There's another Marine in the back. His name is Sergeant Palmer. He will be taking over for me here shortly as I transition into another position within our office. So you might be seeing him a little bit more around the school and speaking with some of your students as well. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and introduce the young men who've decided to enlist into the United States Marine Corps and United States Navy. Andrew Bunn, Zach Butler, Zach Simpson, Gavin Stearns, and I'm also missing one right now. Apparently he said he missed the bus this morning, but I'll go ahead and recognize him as well. His name is Larry Wilkerson. He's actually enlisting into the Marine Corps Reserves. These gentlemen will be joining the active duty Marine Corps. So they will be going to Parris Island, South Carolina for a total of 13 weeks. They will be trained to be basic Marines. Mr. Andrew Bunn will be a tank mechanic. Zach Butler right now is on a communications. Zach Simpson, he'll be avionics, and Gavin Stearns will be a military police officer. So go ahead and get my fellow shipmates up here. Tyler Combs, Sabrina Miller, and I believe that's it. Is there anyone else? All right, awesome. Oh. Oh,
There's a Samson and a Simpson.
Yeah, Samson and Simpson. I read Simpson where it should have been Samson. My apologies. So if I could go ahead and get a round of applause for these young men and women. Thank you.
All right, and now I'm going to move on to our featured speaker today, Major Melvin Hungate, and I'll go ahead and allow him to come up and introduce himself and give us a little background and also just give a message to our enlistees.
Thank you, Allison. Good morning. It's an honor to be here. See if this thing is on. So I really look forward to the opportunities to be able to come and engage with the community in this way. And it's extremely inspiring for me to see, if I went back 15, 20 years ago, to see these young people making this commitment. And I'm also blown away, Principal, by the fact that you do this. I don't, just take a minute. This is rare to put this sort of emphasis on military service and honoring it in the way that you do by sharing your time, your staff's time, and the commitment to what we do every day. And so I'm a bit taken aback by it and the fact that you have put this together in such a way that that it's just extremely rare. So a little about me. I came from a family that did and does appreciate military heritage. My father was a sailor. My sister, I have one sister was a sailor, one that was a Marine. and a brother that was a Marine. I have another brother, a stepbrother, who was in the Air Force. So we kind of got that as kids. We kind of had that a bit of an appreciation for military service in one way or another. Some only did short enlistments. I'm the only one who stuck it out now for 15 years. Through that time, I've had just an unbelievable amount of opportunities to go and do in a way that young folks, you have no idea what's ahead of you, and I wish I could plug you in and let you see some of the things that you're going to go and see and do. Some of the stuff your counselor has had an opportunity to see firsthand, but you're gonna be challenged, and some of those challenges for me came right off the get-go. I was originally contracted to be a naval aviator. I went down and did some of that training, and I decided that's not what I needed to do. So the Marine Corps saw fit to make me a communications officer. I know we've got at least one communications Marine I heard mentioned here, and I'm going to shake your hand in particular because you're coming into my field specifically. But that's just one piece of it. You're going to get skills that you don't know that that are really required, and they're going to be skills that are going to take you through the rest of your life. You're also going to have, like I did, an opportunity to have some character development. Throughout the time that I've been here in military service, I've been challenged. I've faced failures. The naval aviation thing was one of those. But yet I was able to go and succeed, and I've made a great career now here with a whole different skill set. Had the opportunity to lead Marines sections from 30 to a company of 380. Right now I'm in a position where we're across 2 sites. We have 330 Marines between Cincinnati and Indianapolis in the reserve component. And so I have 40 active duty Marines across those sites, and we fulfill that reserve mission. That comes with a lot of challenges, but it's also really unique opportunities. I've had the opportunity to serve in Iraq early on in my career, and I served with an Army Corps staff, and I have a ton of respect for the Army and what they do. An 11 Bravos, an infantry officer. I had he was a colonel at the time, became a general officer, and I respect the fire out of what they do every day. And I've served in Africa with a Navy Corps staff, where we went out and our mission was doing community relations there, building up the militaries of some of the North African nations. We were over there looking in areas anywhere from Eritrea, Ethiopia, Uganda, places like that, where we were going in and really building military capability in those areas for them. And and like I said, that worked in with a Navy staff. The Air Force, they've gotten me where I need to be. That's all I can say about that. But I've never really worked directly with them. But there's a lot of opportunities in that branch as well. So, that's a little bit of what I've done. Also, parents, I'm a father of 4, all right, and the opportunities that my military service has given my family have been pretty phenomenal. So, I tell you, both as a parent who has a 12-year-old, I'm about 6 years out from where you are today, with what you're facing. But I tell you, my kids, they talk about it, and I think about, what does that mean? There's going to be sacrifices. There's going to be missed birthdays and holidays, and there are those times when you're not going to be able to reach them, and you're going to wonder what's going on. And mothers, we just had Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day to you. But if you talk to my mom, she's had some sacrifices. Okay, so it's really but with that, it takes the entire family to come around. And the fact that you're here today is representative, young folks, of that they're willing to provide that support to you. And it's going to be a team to get you through it. I would ask you too that you partner with the military leadership. Okay, one of the things you know, everything's not going to be glorious and glamorous, and there are family readiness programs that I would ask you to tie into and be a part of. And, you know, if things are not going right, or if, you know, your young sailor, soldier, or Marine hasn't contacted you in a little bit and you're a bit worried, reach out to their leadership. They'll get in touch with you. I do that all the time. I've had now thousands of Marines under my charge, and I have talked to my fair share of parents, and build that, use that, because they're there to be there for you and for your service member as well. So that's a little bit. Now, I did tell Captain Allison that I had a story, a little bit of a story from a fellow major who graduated from Hamilton High School in 1991. It was before you had a junior ROTC program here. I'm still friends with him on Facebook, and I said, hey, what are some things that you would have me, you know, impart to the folks today? And so this is a story about Jason Falavine, class of 91. On graduation, he started college at the University of Miami. It didn't go so well. Wine, women, and song, as he puts it, all the trappings of youth. He lacked discipline, focus, and then he found the Marine Corps. I would say, obviously I'm a Marine, that's where I'm coming from, but any military service is going to provide elements of that character development. He enlisted in 1993, and it provided the things he was missing as a man, as a responsible adult. He was able to work on his college and eventually applied for an officer program. When he became an officer, his responsibilities grew, and he was able to impact others through the lessons that he had learned. He found purpose and impact. Major Jason Falavine retired this year after 21 years of service. And so, you know, now he's got a high-paying job and you know, working for Amazon. He, you know, just kind of threw out there, and I think he said, "Boom," you know, something like that. Because, you know, but what he was saying is really that everything that he's done up until this point, you know, has really been from that decision that he, you know, when he became an enlisted Marine, and he found that character. He found those things that allowed him to have the tool set he was missing to go on and be successful. And so I just wanted to share some of that with you. So with that, you know, that's just a personal example. And in closing, I'd like to share a few words from one of our most beloved generals, General James Mad Dog Mattis. All right? I don't know if you know of him, but look him up. He's got some pretty great quotes. This is an excerpt from his retirement speech. I'm just going to read it to you now. It says, "Now from a distance I look back at what the Marine Corps has taught me, to think like men of action, to act like men of thought, and to live life with intensity and a passion for excellence without losing compassion for mistakes made by high-spirited young patriots who look past political rhetoric and join the military." So I'll leave you with that thought. I think about that all the time as I lead Marines, and you know, I leave you with it because it's important for all of us, and it's important for you folks that are getting ready to make that commitment to know that your lives are going to be changed. They're going to be changed for the better. You're going to have to make choices in it, but the opportunity is there. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Major Hungate, for making the trip here to be in front of us today. And basically, that's what we have for you today. We're just very proud of the young men and women that we have here at Hamilton High School that are making the commitment to serve our country. We thank you for the decision that you've made, and good luck.
If we could, I'd like to have all of our students to gather for a picture. If you could come up here and do that, we would really appreciate that.